What is going on, everyone? Welcome back. We are drafting some BBM5 today, showing you how you yourself can also make it to week 17. And like my rankings have Puka over Brees. It's hard though. It's hard not to just take Brees. So I'm just gonna auto draft Puka. I can't do it. This is where it gets close. It's either JT or Nico, Chris Olave. We're gonna go Nico. We're just gonna start double receiver here. I can go the Houston double, or I can go. There's a lot of doubles I can go here. I'm gonna choose to go Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers gets the week 17 correlation with Nico Collins. And then obviously we can stack Lamar here. I feel like that's pretty good. Something that's blowing my mind right now is how little people are seeming to care about Xavier Worthy now. He was getting steamed up there for a long time, where it was like he was starting to push the 4-5 turn. Like I was seeing people take him at the 4-5 turn. And I think that's correct. I mean, Tanker Lamar. You see, the problem is if we go tank, like the Stephon Diggs person still probably will take CJ Stroud. I would if I was him. So I think I'm gonna go Lamar Jackson. This is not reaching, by the way. You look at the ADPs here and you're like, Lamar's, you pushed him up 4. Flowers, I pushed him up 3. That's not reaching. Reaching is when you're drafting someone an entire round ahead of ADP just for the sake of you think it's right / unique. This is not reaching. Like, if Lamar is supposed to be going on average in this range, and Zay Flowers on average is supposed to be going in this little back 6 range, am I just not supposed to pick them then? Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to call that reaching, and then the context behind reaching, it makes it sound so bad. And it's like, dude, ADP doesn't matter. Also, like, why is Isaiah Pacheco falling so much? How does that make... Dude, Isaiah Pacheco and Joe Mixon are falling so much. That's so awesome. That's actually sick. Terry's going up a lot. Keenan's going up a decent amount. Who else is on the rise? What's Rasheed's ADP now? 82. Rashad Bateman's 166. Dude, that steam is getting out of hand. There have been murmurs. All right. There have been murmurs that he's back. Better than ever. Could be true. Could be true. But I don't know. At receiver, I feel like it's one of those things where we usually see it. Could be wrong, but like Pacheco's going in at the 52. It's so. We got some great picks at the top of the board for us. Clinton goes McLaurin. Like, I'm just not taking Xavier Worthy here. I will have such an absurd amount of Xavier Worthy, and that's fine by me. They're like, y'all, Rasheed is getting suspended, period. Like, if Rasheed doesn't get suspended, that would be mind-blowing. And we're having a declining Travis Kelce, a Hollywood Brown that we're uncertain about talent wise because he's been inconsistent. So, I mean, I think this is Kyle Pitts. It's either Kyle Pitts, George Kittle, or Chris Godwin. You could also argue Addison, McConkey. I think you could argue a whole tier of players here. Specifically for our team, though, I do like Kyle Pitts here. There have been very good reports coming back about Kirk Cousins and that how he does look substantially better. 7 months removed from his Achilles injury. And I just expect the Atlanta passing offense to be funneled heavily through London and Pitts this year. We got Arthur Smith out of town, which was definitely step one into getting the passing game into a better place. And then, so this is a bit of a tough one for me because I do rate Zamir White higher here than a lot of these people, a lot of these potential players. But I can't help myself here to not take Deontay Johnson. It feels like the volume that he's going to command in that offense this year is pretty undeniable. I'm not taking Jalen Ward over Jonathan Brooks, I think. Maybe I am, though. I think I just am. Never mind. Like, if Jonathan Brooks is my RB2 there, I think I'm taking Jonathan Brooks. But if I have to, I don't know, man. Shakir goes off the board, which is fine. We are looking to take another RB here for sure. Brian Robinson, Tajay Spears. It's a hard one. I think we go Brian Robinson. I just think that at this point in time, he's better than Austin Eckler. Wow, Austin Eckler's ADP has hit 120. That's kind of crazy. He was going the latter half top 100. Now he's probably going to get passed by Blake Horn, which is crazy. This room has turned into the RB Piss Boy experience, apparently, because these receivers that are still on the board right now going into this pick are crazy. Like, there's just been a lot of green. Like, A.D. Mitchell at the 128. You lucky, lucky, lucky boy. Jerry Jeudy at the 129. Jacoby Myers is still on the board. Him or Josh Palmer. I think I'm Marshawn Lloyd here. I'm definitely Marshawn Lloyd or Kendre Miller here. And if I had to lean one way or the other, I think I'm a Marshawn Lloyd guy. Just at a raw 1-to-1 comparison. He goes Josh Palmer, Jacoby Myers. So we'll go. Okay, this is where it gets kind of tricky because Wicks and Josh Downs are both great picks here. And I think that's a hard one. If I'm definitely Josh Downs over Wicks, but am I Kendre over Wicks on this board? Probably. Or am I Kendre over Downs? I think the answer is yeah. 1-5-5-1. And then our QB situation, probably looking to take Stafford here. Where's the Cooper Cup person though? They're behind us, so it should be our choice to take Stafford, which is cool. Like comparing picking Kendre Miller versus Dontavian Wicks and Josh Downs there, I'm taking a guaranteed RB2 with RB1 upside on talent alone with incredible contingent upside versus the contingent upside of getting a wide receiver too. And obviously, wide receiver points are very good. You need to score 3 wide receivers a week. But like this is a 0 RB build. You know? We are trying to snipe the RB points in a clump. As you can see, we have taken 5 straight running backs. I'm not even trying to do that. I genuinely just think that those are the best values on the board. Like, I mean, gun to my head, week 17, who do I want between Khalil Shakir, Brian Robinson? That's probably more of a bit of a question. How much this room hates Josh Downs is crazy. I wonder who's going to win the Josh Downs lottery here. It likely won't be us, which is sad. Dude, how is Tua falling this far? This is getting ridiculous. This is just a signal that I need to be drafting more Waddle and Tyreek and just pushing Tua, because I swear to God, it just happens in the bulk of my rooms now, where Tua is falling past the 10th round, which is insane. Josh Downs 150. Congratulations to the no badge. We had multiple people take Ty Chandler, Jalen. So Bradley Maddox has 1 QB and Cooper Cup. So putting those 2 pieces together, I think we go Matthew Stafford. But the problem with going Matthew Stafford here is that we aren't taking a receiver, which I don't like. So I think I'm going Troy Franklin. As much as I want to go Matthew Stafford here and think it's good for my second QB, I can still go a second QB that is not as good as Matthew Stafford, which is fine, because I'm already making a bet on Lamar Jackson being a top 3 fantasy quarterback. So my second quarterback doesn't need to be as good as Matthew Stafford. Like, I'm completely fine subbing in Bo Nix for Matthew Stafford. That's fine to me. And here, I think we should go Marvin Mims, because then that sets up the double. This sets up Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims. Then we can go Bo Nix. So we are definitely going to be going Bo Nix on this team now. And then we always have the backdoor pivot to Bryce Young as well. We have his number 1 receiver, so it's not bad. I really don't like Bryce Young for fantasy. It's just a team that's not going to score that many touchdowns. And while I do think the Broncos running backs will be getting a good amount of their touchdowns, they'll still have ridiculous spike weeks, because Troy Franklin and Marvin Mims as deep threats, they'll get there. They will get there. Even though Bo Nix is known as a check down merchant, Troy Franklin and Marvin Mims are simply too good down the field, and Bo Nix will find them. Like, there's something that's like burned in my mind from the off season going into the draft, when scouts were talking about Bo Nix, because let's zoom out. Bo Nix was like not supposed to be going anywhere near where he went, yet the Broncos still took him number 12. And one of the main things behind Bo Nix being so hard to grade was Bo Nix was so hard to grade because Troy Franklin was always open. I always found that pretty funny. That kind of like burned in my memory. It's like, Troy Franklin's always open, huh? Like, all right, like, and then you go and watch the games, and it's true. Troy Franklin he's the truth. Troy Franklin is the truth, and the fact that he's going this far down the board, it's insane. The Cortland Sutton player has 3 quarterbacks already. So I think I may have the luxury of being able to be greedy and go Bo Nix at the 202 instead of having to take him at the back end here. The question now is, I'm going Ben Sinnott. Ben Sinnott and Juwan Johnson are pretty similar bets to me, but I do think that Ben Sinnott has a higher ceiling just because of what his role potentially could be in that offense, because everyone likes to proclaim Jahan Dotson as something when he really isn't. And like, is it possible that Sam Howell was holding back the entire offense last year? Yes. Is it possible that Jahan Dotson is still good? Yes. Is it possible that Ben Sinnott returns 0.5 plus of the same value that Sam Laporta returned last year? Absolutely. And that's the upside I'm playing for. I'm not trying to find the new Sam Laporta. I'm trying to moneyball the new Sam Laporta. I'm trying to recreate Sam Laporta by taking Ben Sinnott and then someone else. And then we get sniped on Bucky Irving, which does feel like ass here. That does not feel good. So I think I'm taking I'm definitely taking Javon Baker here because I already took Ben Sinnott. And if I'm taking Luke McCaffrey and Ben Sinnott, I'm really betting against Jahan Dotson and Terry McLaurin. So you got to be mindful about that for sure. We will be going Javon Baker because Javon Baker also gives us another out to take Drake May without it being Cope. Okay, well, now I'm just instantly scared because things are starting to get scary out here. And while Bo Nix should not be getting taken, I can't fault someone for going like a Greg Dulcich Bo Nix backstack just to get some like correlation plus extra QB points. We do see Bryce Young go off the board. Man. The question here now is, do we go 2-5-8-3 or 2-6-8-2? Dude, oh my God, it's getting so scary. We're so close to just actually being fucked. And dude, we need to fade 4 picks. That was the Cortland Sutton dude. That was the dude with Cortland Sutton. So if anyone takes Bo Nix here, jail. Straight to jail because this is a fucking $25 draft and it's not good for your team. It's only good for my team. You're just trying to box me out. Straight to jail. Come on, please. Yes. Do we give the other people a chance is the question. No, it's it's kind of funny if I did it again, but between Roschon Johnson and Deontay Foreman, it's not too big of a deal for me. I definitely am more Deontay Foreman than Roschon Johnson, which is why I was considering going Deontay Foreman here and then trying to push Bo Nix here. Both these dudes have 3 quarterbacks, but dude, people are so unhinged. You never know. You really never know. I just don't think any of these tight ends are as good of options as going Deontay Foreman here. So we're going to go with a 2-6-8-2. It's not my favorite. I don't love not having 3 tight ends. I do have an elite tight end, which is the reason that people like to cope and be like, it's all good. We have an elite tight end. And it's like, yeah, well, there's going to be a week where you have 1 tight end starting and you just literally might not score the position. And there's a big difference between you know? So, so to round out the team, we got Lamar Jackson, Bo Nix, we got Jalen Warren, Devin Singletary, Brian Robinson, Marshawn Lloyd, Kendre Miller, Deontay Foreman, Puka Nakua, Nico Collins, Zay Flowers, Xavier Worthy, Deontay Johnson, Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims, Javon Baker. Then we got Kyle Pitts and Ben Sinnott. People will look at this and see the Week 14 5 buys and get scared. Brother, it's okay. Our entire team isn't playing Week 14. We get there or we don't. It's a fun video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you did. See you next time.